Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a small review on the latest BCW Prime 4 gaming box. Basically, I play quite a bit of games, or I try to play a lot of games, but sometimes I play like little miniature games or like games like Keyforge where you require a lot of tokens and dice and stuff like that. Um, it's kind of annoying for me just to hold a small deck box and probably grab a dice bag and stuff like little bag to hold tokens and stuff. I always misplace one or the other. So when I saw this box, it was actually really interesting. It seems to be, well, you can see here, it's designed for sleeved cards, oversized card, dice and tokens, and pencils. So yes, for Dungeons and Dragons players, this is awesome for you. Basically, the box looks like a little custom toolbox. I wish they would have made it a nicer look, but you can't really complain, to be honest. So on the back, it says holds up to 240 sleeve cards. Each slot holds 60 sleeve cards. Removable partition makes room for oversized cards. So basically, we're going to do a bit of review and let's see what actually it holds. So put that aside, I've actually had one opened before I decided to make the video, so that was my bad. So this one, basically on the top, there is no logo embossed onto it, so it's a clear top. It is actually a small matte finish, as you can see the light shining over through like that. It's not too bad. On the very back, it's basically just plastic. Yeah, the whole unit. The hinge itself, it's a click hinge, so it's actually, I assume that once you throw it into your bag, it's actually pretty good. So let's open it and have a look. So in here, you have a total of 6 compartments, including this removable dice tray. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On the top, it's good for pencils and stuff like that. You can't actually make any alterations to that. So once you pop it in, so it's good for Dungeons and Dragons players. You can put your pencils in, your erasers, little tokens or things like that. So let's pretend that these are tokens. They fit perfectly in there. So it's actually pretty cool, actually. Yeah. So like that. So you can put things there. Other than that, the only thing I can think for like card gamers is probably just dice and token. Nothing else really goes in there. The removable dice tray, so you can pretty much just put a whole bunch of dice in, and then when you're about to play games, you can take it out and yeah, play with it. So let's see if we close it. The dice actually doesn't move, so that's actually pretty cool. So the dice actually doesn't roll around, it doesn't get out and stuff like that. So let's remove that and then we can have a look. So with the card compartment, you can see that there is a little bit of a padding onto the side. So it's not felt finish, it's basically just like a little rubber sticker, so you can hear that sound, me pressing down at it. So it's quite nice how they've included the indent. So I assume that once you have your deck in, you can just use your finger, pop, and then you can get the deck out. So that's actually not too bad. So the next question is, what can it hold? So when it says that each compartment holds 60 sleeve cards, it doesn't actually say if it's non-double sleeved or not. Yeah, so basically I have a deck here. It is sleeved with Dragon Shield and RSS Perfect Fits. So 2 layers. So I assume that sideboarding is out of the question. So this is the deck. So 60 cards in there. And we'll try to pop it all in. It's a bit hard to... It's probably because of how old the sleeves are. I'm not too sure. So as we can see here, you can see that it does actually pop out. So it is, like if you shake it aside, then you will actually get a few cards that really can't really fit. So I would assume that this does not fit. I don't want to, yeah. So there's a lot of tension there. I don't want to damage the cards. So unfortunately, by the looks of it, this will not hold double sleeve cards. So if you double sleeve this, unless you want to split it up into both sides, so probably one side there and one side there, and then it should be fine with your sideboarding. But then for commander players, normally, yeah, you don't, yeah, it's a bit strange. They could have made it a bit more thicker. So because nowadays quite a lot of people double sleeve. But again, If you don't double sleeve, it is fine. So next, just in case that this happened, I actually prepared another deck of cards. So this deck is using original Dragon Shield, and this is non-double sleeved. So as you can see, it is basically normal sleeves and cards. So this time, let's try it in this compartment. So it goes in, yep. So pretty much, you can still shake it around because of the space in there, and it will actually go past. But I assume that I should be able to close this with no problem, like that. So once you actually close it down, when I closed it, I didn't feel any tension there. So it's actually shaking this around, this actually wouldn't really move. So not too bad. So if you actually don't use any, so you can actually fit up to 4 decks. So it's actually pretty good for those. So let's remove the deck there. Thank you. And next, of course, is the compartment. The compartment can be removed just like that, but yeah, you probably want to put it anywhere or there is no place. It would actually be quite cool if they actually made a place for you to slide onto the side when you're not using it, and so you don't have to find a place for this. It's oh wow, this one has a bit of a residue of the adhesive on, so let's just remove that. So this time what we have is we have oversized cards, so the magic arch enemy ones. They fit easily in, and there's actually a lot of room. So let's try. This is an arch enemy card sleeved with my own oversleeve. So again, the arch enemy cards are the same size as transformer cards. So if you actually play transformers or things like that, you can actually get these sleeves as well. And yep, it fits in perfectly just like that. So it's actually pretty cool if you're a Magic player. You can actually get this box, and then you can have one side all your plane chase, one side all your arch enemy, and then you have both games in one single box. And that's actually pretty cool. If you play Transformers, you can have up to 2 decks there, because Transformers don't really... the cool part about Transformers is that you don't need 60 cards. So any card games that uses only like less than 50 cards, you can double sleeve and you can put it in with no problem. And then you can have the tokens and stuff, dice all over the side. So for Transformers and things like Arch Enemy, Plane Chase and all that, this is a really good box. So let's remove that. And the next thing I would like to test out is, since some people actually use anime sleeves. So anime sleeves, or we'll say probably art sleeves. Art sleeves, normally a lot of people will actually do an oversleeve to protect the sleeves inside. So it's sleeves within sleeves. Yeah, okay. So this one, unfortunately, it doesn't fit anything larger than a normal standard size sleeve. So unfortunately, if you are a gamer that likes to use art sleeves, and you actually use oversleeves to protect it, unfortunately, this deck box will not be good for it. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. So not even going to try push it down. It is really good for... So it is actually really good for games that like Warcry or things like that, when you actually have objectives, put it down in there, and then there's actually four slots and stuff like that, which is really good. There's another thing that a lot of players in our store actually use for commanders are these little mini tight fits, tight snap-ons, and unfortunately they don't fit as well. So you can probably fit like 3, and that's it. But then yeah, it's going to break it. So unfortunately, this doesn't work as well for it. Overall, the next thing that I can think of are games that uses miniatures. So miniatures like Warhammer and stuff like that, you can actually, the height is not high enough for a lot of the miniatures. So here I'm actually using a dwarf. So you probably push it down and yeah, it won't actually fit. However, of course, wargamers are smart. We normally use a lot of different foams and stuff like that. You can actually lie it down, and it's actually quite cool if you remove the compartments and all that. The reason why I talk about this is because you can actually use this for things like Shadespire. You can have both your decks in one compartment. You can have all the dice in one. You can have all your objectives and all that here. Tokens and chits all over there. And then these 3 compartments, you can fit foam in there, and you can put your little warband inside, which is really awesome. And then if you play things like Warcry, any skirmish games, you can probably most likely customize this whole compartment to fit cards and miniatures. The reason why is because I know that there are some companies that actually make like a box, but most of the time the cards actually sit in foam as well, which I personally don't like. I like a bit more of the solid ones. So unfortunately for miniatures, they don't stand. But then for if you actually play Dungeons and Dragons, it actually doesn't really matter, because a lot of the D&D miniatures, so things like HeroClix and stuff, you can just throw in there and it doesn't really matter. So because those are produced to be thrown around and stuff like that. So it is actually pretty cool. That's about it from me. I think that's all I can think about a lot of the usage for these compartments. Overall, I think it's pretty good if you don't double sleeve. That's number one. If you double sleeve, this is definitely not the case for you, because unfortunately it just doesn't hold enough cards. I mean, like, it can't hold too much cards. So when you double sleeve, if you're playing a 60 card deck and double sleeve, this is not good for you. However, if you play games like Keyforge, what other games like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Dragon Ball Super, even things like Destiny. Oh, this is actually really good for Star Wars Destiny. Pretty dice, counters, deck. But unfortunately the game is dead. So you can actually use that. There's actually quite a lot of ways that you can use it. For things, the best thing that I can think of is probably the oversized sleeves. The oversized sleeves just go there perfect for it, because I personally always had to rely on the big Ultra Pro box and all that, but it's long gone. You can't, it's not very good, to be honest. And having the ability to actually do it like that now, it's actually really, really nice. I actually really like it. Yeah, this is awesome like that. Miniature wise, I would say probably only good, really good for Dungeons and Dragons players. You can really just have so much compartments to put a lot of your stuff in. And yeah, pretty much that's all. So I would probably give this probably a 7.5 out of 10, because like I would, if I were BCW, I probably would have made it a bit more higher, just to be able to fit double sleeved decks in. Because honestly, if this could have fit 4 standard or Pioneer decks double sleeved without a sideboard, or even with a sideboard or things like that, it would have been amazing, because I could have just carried this little box with me and I can have 4 decks to play with. However, yeah, that's a bit of a missed opportunity in my opinion. They probably have their reasons, but it doesn't really matter. Other than that, again, D&D players will probably enjoy this a lot. Yeah. So, anyway, if you're interested in it, you can look down the link. We do actually sell it. It is actually pretty good. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the review. I actually haven't done a review for quite a while. I'll probably start doing it again. And thanks for watching. Take it easy. See you soon.